This video is brought to you by Big Idea Design. They make titanium pocket tools and pins, like the bit bar, which is a screwdriver with a pocket clip and bit storage in the handle, and the TPT and the TPT slide, which hold a standard utility knife blade. They also recently launched a titanium EDC wrench and offer pins like the TI Click, TI Arto EDC, and the TI Pocket Pro. To learn more about Big Idea Design, click the links in the description, and you can also use the coupon code BESTDAMNEDC for $5 off any purchase over $50. And if you do, it'll help support the show.
Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Taylor Martin. This is the Best Damn EDC, and it's time for another EDC Weekly. And if you're new here, I start the show off every week with community announcements because I do a ton of giveaways. This is a community show, and announcements have to happen somewhere, so they're going to happen right here. If you don't want to watch them, just skip ahead like 2 or 3 minutes and stop complaining because it's just going to happen. That's just the way it's going to be. Too bad. So sad. If you don't want to take part in any of the giveaways or know if you've won or not, skip forward. Otherwise, stop complaining. First up, I had to choose the winner for the February EDC Weekly giveaway. That's for all the good stuff, the EDC kit that I give away every month. And last month, in February, Levi Quale was the winner. I selected the random winner. He actually had an additional entry, and I think he's the first to actually win after being featured. Nobody else with an additional entry has ever won. So Levi, congratulations. And that also goes to show that just because you're not featured doesn't mean you won't win, but it also means that just because you are featured doesn't guarantee you a spot. It's just an additional entry. Anyway, I'll be in touch, Levi. Second, last week I said, tell me in the comments down below what the minimal EDC is, a bare minimum EDC. There was a wide range of answers, a lot of them very, very similar too, but there was one that stuck out at me. That was MWE. He said the whip kit, which was a bunch of things now. I think it was a wallet horology, which is for your watch. I don't know. Whip kit meant something. Here's the comment. Anyway, he won, and the reason I asked that will be available to you very soon. There's a video I made based on these answers, and that will be available, I think, next week. I just shot it today, and I'm waiting on some other stuff to happen and finish that video, but just keep an eye out for that. It's a different style of video. And this week, I'm going to continue the giveaways. This week, I'm giving away a Giltech Ruck. This is a Best Damn EDC version of the Giltech Ruck V2.0. So it's got my logo on it. And if you win, I don't have the brass beads to give away. So you won't get this exact one, but you will get this exact one with this new inbox that's never been opened. So that's pretty cool. You'll get a Best Damn EDC Giltech Ruck. If you want to know how to win that, just watch the video. I will announce it somewhere throughout the video. This week's EDC Weekly was a Discord only, which means that you had to submit both on the website and in the Discord. So these people are from the Discord. There's no theme other than that. Let's do the thing. Oh, really quickly, on my way here, I stopped by the post office to pick up something that I had purchased that was delivered this morning, and oh baby, that's right, I did it. I got a Chris Reeve Sabenza. This is the small Sabenza 21. I got it used after the video last week. Someone reached out. His name was Brent Aguilar. He reached out and said, hey, I've got one that I've used. It's for sale. If you want to buy it, he gave me a good price. I agreed, and I now own a small Sabenza, which I'm very happy about. So time to get it customized, right? Whatever. Anyway, let's do the show. Just gonna say up front, this show is gonna be a doozy. These people over in Discord, they're wordy. They say a lot of things, and I struggle with reading things. So here we go. The first submission this week comes from Dex O'Thuithear. What? Is that I don't believe that's a real name. There's no way. There's no way. You can find him over on the website at Dex, but I don't think that's a real name. You made that up. I also see that when you submitted, I see your real name, and that doesn't match this, so I'm calling your bluff on that. Could be wrong. I've been wrong before. Once. First up, we have the Boker DW-1. That is the tiny little knife in the top left of the photo, and there is also the Kaiser Mini Sheepdog. That's knife number 2. Also on the left side of the photo is his wallet. That is the Travex Element in mud brown, and he also has a Sparrow's Chaos card and a Sparrow's Hall Pass. I really don't know what those are, other than looks like lockpick set in a card shape. I don't know. Not quite sure how that works. He also carries a Leatherman rebar, which is in the bottom left of the photo, and his flashlight of choice is the Nightcore MH23. He carries a Fisher Spaceman bullet in matte black, and his phone of choice is the Samsung Galaxy Note 9, which he carries in an OtterBox Defender case. Above that, you see a SanDisk 64GB dual drive flash drive, and he keeps his keys organized with a KeySmart. He also has the Kershaw tag tool and a Boeing Aviation Circuit Breaker RBF tag. His mechanical pencil is the Unikuru Toga Premium Edition, and he also has the Stanley 4-in-1 screwdriver. Getting close to the bottom of the list here, we have the Casio G-Shock SGW-300H as his watch. He also has Shure SE215 IEMs, or in-ear monitors, and then finally, he has Flare Audio Isolate Titanium. I think those are titanium earplugs. I'm not sure. Anyway, Dex says, and here we go. This is my day off carry. My workday carry is a bit bulkier, but even on my days off, I find myself having to fix things while away from my main tools, or at least get some out of a jam. The knives get swapped out depending on whether I'm at home or farm or just out for the day. Knife laws here in Ireland are rather odd, so I generally carry the Boker while out and about because it's tiny and very useful. The Kaiser tends to raise a few more eyebrows, so I generally only use that at home or when I know I'll need it. The flashlight isn't exactly an EDC staple, but I love having extra power, at least 1800 lumens and a throw range of 300 meters. It's a pocket powerhouse. It also has a built-in voltmeter so you can check battery voltage live, which is a feature I adore and one I wish other manufacturers would adopt. The Leatherman rebar isn't my favorite in the Leatherman range, but it's sturdy, compact, and has a decent selection of tools, so it covers the basics for me. Screwdriver is quite basic, but like the rebar, it's compact and useful and gets me out of most small jobs. The pen is a classic. The pencil isn't something I see very much. I have a few of the standard Kuru Toga pencils, but this premium version is just a nicer metallic version. The watch has been with me for about a decade. It's been through hell, as you can see from the bezel and glass, but it survived everything I've thrown at it, and I love it for that reason. The earphones are in-ear monitors from Shure. They have an amazing soundstage for the size and provide fantastic noise isolation. With them is a pair of Flare Isolate Titanium earplugs, hey, I'm right again, which also offer fantastic isolation without drowning out voices too much. I suffer from tinnitus, so these are both essentials for me going anywhere loud or intense. The wallet is newish, but it has also been serving me well so far. I'm trying to avoid bifolds because I tend to clutter them with receipts and other junk, so this style is helping. Inside the wallet, I have a pair of backup lock bypass pick tools. They seem like a strange thing to have, but they've gotten me and others out of a few jams. I generally keep a full set of lock picks in my car, but these are very handy. The phone is huge, but I'm a big fan of the Note series. Well, I'm a fan of the ones that don't explode. Got him! It's huge and even bigger in the case, but worth the bulky carry. Lastly, the keys have a simple KeySmart organizer and a Kershaw tag tool. Having been involved in a few traffic accidents, never as a driver, having something to break glass and cut a seatbelt on my keys is really important to me. Wow, Dex, you seem to find yourself in a lot of jams. So one, even though you pointed out that none of the accidents you've been in were your fault, you made very clear, you still find yourself in a lot of jams, and I have to think that that's maybe possibly your fault. Or maybe, even though you weren't driving the car, that maybe the wrecks, the accidents were your fault because you just find yourself in a lot of jams. I don't know, just ragging on you, man. But yes, I totally agree about the bifold wallets. If I've got something that I can stick receipts in, I will. But I've gotten into, since carrying minimalist wallets, I've gotten into the habit of just crumpling them up and throwing away receipts because most of the things now are digital anyway, so you don't really truly need receipts. I mean, sometimes you do, and I keep the ones that are especially important. I'm rambling. This is a quite bulky carry, but very in-depth, and you did share your others, which I'm going to show your work carry now, and the carry without the pine needles here. There you go, guys. This guy is probably, maybe, the most thorough submitter to the EDC Weekly, but I just have to say one thing. Thank you so much for using proper grammar. Now this makes my life so much easier when I'm finishing up this and posting this to the website. I don't have to copy edit. It's great. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. And you now have a second entry into the March giveaway. How is it already March? How? The next submission comes from Brett. You can find him over on the website at Brett_kartracer with a K. And this one I picked not because it's pretty standard gear, but the way that it was laid out is just, it's clever. It shows you where he keeps his things and how he carries them. And I think that's really, really neat. And I've seen a few of these submitted this way, but this one, I don't know, just jumped out at me. So thanks for thinking outside the box. You guys are really up in your game with your photos, your creativity, and I love it. First up, we have the Bic Click Stick ballpoint pen. He carries that in that front right pocket. Beside that is the Blue Point UPT 16 telescoping magnet. He also carries the Streamlight Stylus Pro, that is a 2x AA flashlight. In the other pocket, the left breast pocket, is the Snap-on SDD204 flat blade pocket screwdriver. On his wrist, he wears the Casio F-91W watch. The belt around his waist is the 511 TDU nylon belt. He also has an iPhone 5S that he carries in his right front pocket, and he carries that in an Apple leather case. In the left front pocket, the final thing in the photo in the bottom right is the Maxpedition Low Profile Wallet, or LPW. Brett says, "This is my WDC, the workday carry. I'm a diesel mechanic and I carry much more in a backpack and on my person for EDC, but this is all I dare wear at work while climbing around and banging up against machinery. The pin works just fine and I get them for free at work. The magnet extends about 3 feet and helps me grab things without having to bend over. The one item I am never without is a flashlight. It is handy to have a light ready at all times because I'm often inspecting equipment and needing to see what tools are necessary before I even open my toolbox. My lights of choice for 10 plus years have been Streamlight Stylus Pros. They are simple, easy to carry, bright, rugged, and inexpensive both to buy and operate. Though I've lost 2 and had 2 switches and 1 light go bad, I've tried lots of other flashlights and I find myself going back to the Stylus Pros. Some of you may wonder why you're not seeing a knife. Well, not only does my company not allow me to have one, but a screwdriver is far more versatile and easy to carry / deploy for my prying and cutting tasks than a knife. My belt and wallet are nylon due to the fact that they conform to your body and are thin / light. As for sentimentality, my keys are not pictured, but I keep them in my pocket on a simple keyring with a NiTi's micro lock S-biner for securing my wedding ring. This to protect my ring finger while I put it in harm's way, and then to signify the covenant with my wife when I'm off work. Well, you could get a silicone band if you wanted to save your finger and your ring while at work, but that's a really neat idea. I've never seen somebody put their ring on a NiTi's locking S-biner. That's clever. But also, it's a good point about not being able to carry a knife at work. I couldn't carry one when I worked retail. I would carry a box cutter because most people didn't care about that, but I couldn't carry a knife. Box cutter made sense because I had to receive a lot of packages and open them, but I could not carry a pocket knife. So yeah, that's something that does affect a lot of people's everyday carry. And thanks for not putting it in there, even though you do maybe carry one when you're not at work, but this is your work carry. It's nice to see how people's carries differ between work and home and play and all those different things. So very neat. Thank you for sharing, Brett. Thanks for being creative with your picture, and you now have a second entry into the March giveaway. Now it's time for me to tell you how to enter to win a Giltech Ruck with my logo on it, the special edition Best Damn EDC Ruck, which is not for sale yet, so it's very special. Comment down below with a number between 0 and 1,000. I will choose a number at random, and you will get it in the mail. It's that simple. Just do it. Go do it. Do it now. Do it. Do it. Next up, we have a submission from D Dallmann, and he's better known as Pry over in the Discord. He's been in there for quite a while, very active. He's very informative about a bunch of different gear, and I think has probably helped me with a few things to date. But this carry is one of his newest. He submitted a bunch. And first up, we have the Seiko BFK SKA 367 watch. That's the yellow Seiko at the bottom. And he has on that an SST bracelet. At the top of the photo is his fixed blade. That is the Benchmade 200 Puko. I think that's how it's pronounced. And he also carries a Victorinox Pioneer X in black ALUX. That is the DLT trading version of that. And attached to that with a little spring clip is the Rovivon Aurora A5 in UV, the ultraviolet version of that flashlight. He carries all of that in the KSF front pocket leather sheath. On the left side of the photo is the Yellow Birch Outfitters Pocket Classic. Inside that, he carries his flashlight, which is the Olight S2R Baton 2, as well as the Smith & Wesson Tactical Pen and the Travelers Company brass pencil. In the back, he also carries a Field Notes notebook, and in the bottom of the photo is his wallet. That is the CountyCom RFID wallet. Underneath that is a standard cotton handkerchief, and then not pictured is his iPhone 6s Plus, which he carries in a SimpFi 3000 mAh slim case, and it's not pictured because he used it to take the picture. Brian says, "Hey Taylor, my name is D Dallmann, aka Pry on Discord." I know who you are, Brian. I don't know why you have to introduce yourself to me again. I'm a product manager for a window and door hardware company in Minnesota. My EDC has changed slightly for 2019. You, my friend, have had a major impact on my EDC recently, Rovivon, Olight, and Yellow Birch. My watch switches back and forth from an all-black Sunto core to a yellow face Seiko SKA 367 BFK. Need to keep the BFK charged, so I try to wear it every other day. My main blade has changed for the month of March to another fixed blade, trying out a Benchmade 200 as a pocket carry, and I carry it in a pocket sheath sold by KSF, which also has a pocket for an SAK. Swiss Army knife. I love this sheath. It fits about any sub 3.5 inch fixed blade from a front pocket carry in the office. For weekends, I have a custom Kydex sheath with a tech lock for cross-draw carry. The SAK is a black Alox Pioneer X model, and I keep an Aurora A5 UV clipped to it. Thanks to your recommendation, I also upgraded my flashlight from a Streamlight to an Olight S2R Baton 2. That light is amazing. With it, I carry a Smith & Wesson tactical pen in blue aluminum with a rollerball refill, also a brass traveler's pencil, also your suggestion. As I said, you've cost me some coin. Yeah, that's a common theme around here. Cost myself a lot of coin too. Need I remind you, I just bought a Sabenza and a bug out and many other things, and I just spent $50 on a video. You guys cost me just as much as I cost you, I promise. In a Field Notes notebook, I now carry all those items in a yellow birch pocket organizer. Thanks for that, by the way. I don't rattle when I walk anymore, and my items are always oriented for easy retrieval. It's also much faster to swap my gear to different pants in the morning. I like the CountyCom RFID wallet, but I did a mod to make it pull from my front pocket easier. Paracord knotted through the zipper pull. The CC RFID wallet is pretty big, so I have to clean it out often. Which also has a battery backup case, a SimFeed 3000 mAh slim case. Hanky is a plain cotton and keeps my brow dry and nose wiped. I also have a bunch of stuff on my keys, not shown. Love your videos, you are truly copper and brass obsessed. Not good for your brain, I've heard. Keep up the great work. Well, Brian, you're not good for my brain either. That's all I gotta say about that. Thank you again for submitting. I've been trying to fit you in here and get you in featured in the EDC Weekly. I think you've been an honorable mention before, but it's good to finally get you back in here. I'm sorry it's been so long, but it's interesting to see somebody carry a fixed blade in their pocket. I've not seen that a ton. I'm not sure I would do that, just personal note, but I do have a fixed blade coming to me right now. I just got the tracking number this morning, and I'm still very interested in how I'm going to feel about carrying it as an EDC knife. I may or may not do it. Haven't decided yet. Anyway, thank you for sharing Pry. You now have a second entry into this month's giveaway. Next up, we have a submission from Erin R, and this is just a badass carry. That's all there is to it. Lots of copper. Lots of copper. But you can find her over on Instagram at ERHON5. So Instagram.com/ERHON5. First up, we have the Urban Survival TiScribe in copper. That's the pin in the loop in the top of the photo. Beneath that is the Olight i3T EOS, also in copper, and the Kershaw Natrix, also in copper. To the right of that is the Lynch Northwest All Access Pass that looks like the V2.0, I believe. And underneath all of that is the DIY pocket organizer. She also has a key bar in aluminum at the bottom, and that is attached to a Victorinox Classic SD in Alox. Those are attached to another key. It's not listed here, but there is a hammered whistle, which also looks like it doubles as a bottle opener. She also has an iPhone 8 Plus, which she carries in a Spec Presidio mount case, and attached to the back of that is a pop socket. Erin says, I will be the first to admit my stuff changes daily, but this is the stuff I take to work with me. Another work carry. All of this was accidental, I promise. The iPhone is for all the obvious reasons. The keyboard works great for me. Yeah, it's not the smallest or lightest, but it's super durable. I keep a Victorinox Classic on my keys just for an unlikely situation where I forget a regular pocket knife. At work, I was having trouble with having all things clipped to my pocket, so I made the organizer so that they can sit in my pocket, and this has worked much better. In the organizer, I keep my pen, the flashlight, and the knife. I work overnights, so a flashlight is something I use pretty often, and I use the knife for opening and breaking down boxes. The newest thing I'm trying is the Lynch Northwest pry bar. I usually have a cadet or multi-tool, but I had mostly used that for scraping and prying, so I'm seeing if this is a better solution, and it's nice because I can clip it to the organizer as well. Having to deal with shallow girl pants pockets has never been fun for someone who likes to carry a bunch of things, and things would fall out of my pockets all the time. Now that things are condensed to the organizer, things stay where they need to be. In my utility pocket, I often carry a Leatherman Micra, and that falls out all the time. So yeah, I totally get it, but I also have trouble carrying a bunch of things in one spot where it's a lot of weight all at once. This is pushing it, and this has a bunch of really lightweight gear in it, like the Benchmade bug out and a titanium pen and an itty bitty little keychain flashlight, and it's still almost too heavy for me, even though it's Cordura, so it's not even leather. But you're carrying leather with copper, all copper items in it, which looks badass, but also it's probably pretty heavy, I imagine. But that thing's gonna patina really well because it is just a natural veg tan, and it's gonna look really sick. Thank you for sharing, Erin. It's good to see another woman submit to the EDC. Thank you for being part of the community. You now have a second entry into the March giveaway. The fifth and final submission this week comes from Robert Steve. Yes, he has two first names, and you can find him over on the website at Robert Steve. First up, we have the Fisher Spacepen Bullet, but that looks like a special version. I've never seen one quite like that. It's got a little special cap on it. I don't know what's going on there. There is a rubber grip attached to that, so maybe that's what it is. He also has a Write in the Rain mini notebook underneath that, and his watch to the right of that is the Marathon Navigator with the Martac strap on it. Next to that is also the Leatherman Bit Kit, and beneath that is his flashlight, his keychain, the mini flashlight. It's the Olight i1R EOS. He also has the Leatherman bit extender and the nylon sheath with pockets. Carries the i1R and the bit extender in that sheath, as well as the Leatherman Charge TTI, which is in the bottom left of the photo. In the top right of the photo is his phone of choice. That's the Apple iPhone 6. He carries that in a JE Tech HD clear case. He also has a Hirsch leather key fob attached to his keys and an Olight S1 Mini as his main flashlight. His wallet is an Umbra bungee card holder. I had one of those at one point. They were kind of interesting. In the bottom right of the photo is a microfiber cloth, and spread throughout the entire photo is Zavita Organica coffee. Robert says, we have had a DeLonghi Magnifica espresso machine for probably 15 years now. Both my wife and I love great coffee, and about 15 years ago I decided to cut back on the $5 coffees at our favorite cafe and limit those to just occasionally making our own. Has saved us a ton of money that can be used on other things. The only things new in the photo purchased since watching your YouTube channel are the Fisher Space Pen and the notepad. The Leatherman is also new, but that was what brought me to your channel. I was Googling Leathermans and your channel showed up in the results. I always had a Leatherman PST in my tool pouch, which I broke the blade off years ago. I just decided after Christmas to send it in for repair. They sent a rebar and got me hooked on Leatherman again. The Charge TTI was a bit of a splurge, and only because Leatherman had a special price on it at the time. The Marathon Navigator is a bit of a Franken watch. I had seen what looked like the steel version of this watch on eBay from a Swiss seller. It was one put together with spare parts and not the actual military issue one from Desert Storm. I swapped the dial from the modern Navigator and painted the second hand to give it a unique look. That's really cool. The Olights I discovered about 4 years ago with the original S1 baton, and was when I started carrying a light in my pocket daily, the start of my EDC days. Very interesting carry here. Unique photo with the coffee spread out, and I think you did that to probably get my attention because, as many of you know, I love coffee. This is my coffee right here. I love coffee. You cheated, man. No, this is really quite a unique carry. I like it a lot. Those card holders, I had one, I have one at home still. They're interesting. They're held together with a bungee, and it opens one side on the right side in the photo, but you pull that out and you can slide cards down into it. I get a lot of comments when I carried one like that, but really cool carry. Thank you for sharing, and you now have a second entry into the March giveaway. Everybody who joined the Discord to submit for this week, just thank you. Welcome to the community. It is a very, very busy, thriving community now over in the Discord and here on YouTube. It's growing and everything is going so well. Thank you. I cannot thank you all enough. But if you haven't already, go to edcw.co and submit your EDC so you can be featured in a future video and be entered into the giveaway. I do them every single month. If you go to edcw.co and submit your EDC, you're entered to win a Hitch and Timber card caddy, a Big Idea Design TPT, a Rovivon Aurora flashlight, a Griffin pocket tool with my brand on it, a Yellow Birch Outfitters pocket organizer, and a KeySmart Rugged. You do that, you're entered to win, and if you're featured anywhere here on the YouTube channel, over on the website, or on Instagram, you get an additional entry. That's gonna do it for this video. If you found it helpful and enjoyed it, be sure to hit that thumbs up button below and subscribe to see more stuff like this in the future. I do the EDC Weekly every single Friday, and I have other videos spread out throughout the week. And hit that notification bell so you're notified when I upload new videos. If you saw anything in this video that you liked and would like to purchase or see more about, everything is linked down below. I take a lot of time linking every single product that is mentioned in this show. If you click to and purchase anything, that helps keep the show alive. That gives us a little bit of a kickback, doesn't charge you anything extra, just for the gear that you were gonna buy anyway. And if you wanna support us even more, you can go to patreon.com/BestDamnEDC. Be sure to follow us around the web. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at BestDamnEDC. You can find me, Taylor Martin, on Twitter and Instagram at Casper Tech. And until next time, carry on.